Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive into something we're calling wealth destroyers.
Ooh, wealth destroyers.
Yeah, you know those everyday choices that can secretly sabotage your wealth-building goals.
Okay.
We're going to go beyond just avoiding bad investments today.
I like it.
So get ready to uncover some surprising culprits that might be lurking in plain sight.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of people focus on the big financial decisions,
Right.
investing in the stock market or buying a house.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's often the small recurring expenses that can really hold you back.
It's the little things that add up.
Precisely.
It's death by a thousand cuts.
Exactly.
So for example, I was reading that the average smoker
Oh, yeah.
spends thousands of dollars a year on cigarettes alone.
It's a lot of money.
It's like a down payment on a car going up in smoke.
Literally. And it's a prime example of opportunity cost.
Right.
Every dollar you spend on a vice, whether it's smoking, excessive drinking, or even those daily fancy lattes.
Oh, those lattes get me.
It's a dollar that's not compounding in your savings account or being invested for your future.
Oof, that's a tough pill to swallow.
It is, but it's the truth.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's easy to overlook those small expenses, but when you add them up over time, it's pretty eye-opening.
For sure.
Like, what could you do with an extra $2,000 or $3,000 each year?
Right. Could you finally start investing, pay down debt faster, or even take that dream vacation?
Maybe even all three.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those small leaks in your financial ship
Ooh, I like that analogy.
and plugging them before they sink your long-term goals.
Love it. Okay, so speaking of things that can drain your finances,
Oh, what's next?
let's talk about timeshares.
Ah, yes. The classic timeshare.
They're often marketed as a dream come true.
Right. A luxurious vacation every year.
But is there a darker side to that story?
Well, the allure of a timeshare is undeniable.
For sure.
But the reality is often a financial headache. You're locked into inflexible booking schedules, facing ever-increasing maintenance fees,
Ugh, I hate those fees.
and often stuck with a property that depreciates in value.
So you could end up paying for vacation you can't even use.
Exactly, and good luck trying to resell it.
Okay, what's the alternative?
Strategic saving for vacations.
Okay.
That way you have the flexibility to choose your destinations, travel when you want.
And avoid those long-term financial commitments
Precisely, it puts you back in control.
of your money and your travel experiences.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a sec
Okay,
to another potential wealth destroyer,
hit me.
housing.
Ah, housing the big one.
We all want a comfortable place to live,
Of course.
but sometimes I wonder if our desire for a bigger, better house
Yeah.
can actually sabotage our financial progress.
It's interesting you say that because a lot of financial experts
Yeah.
recommend keeping housing costs under 30% of your income.
30%. Okay.
That allows you to allocate more money towards other goals.
Like investing or saving for retirement.
Exactly, or even starting your own business.
Right, but I think it's also about mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Like sometimes we get caught up in keeping up with the Joneses,
The comparison trap
and we end up with more house than we need.
and a mortgage payment that's eating away at your financial freedom.
Yeah, ouch. So how do we break free from that mindset?
It starts with honestly assessing your needs versus your wants.
Needs versus wants.
Do you really need that extra bedroom that's gathering dust?
Or that massive yard that you never use.
Right. Or would you rather have the financial freedom to pursue your passions?
Ooh, that's a good one.
A comfortable, well-maintained space that meets your needs?
Yeah,
That's far more valuable than a McMansion that drains your bank account.
I like it. All right, let's move on to something a little more fun.
Ooh, fun.
Those shiny toys
Oh boy, here we go.
that can tempt us to overspend.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Boats, jet skis, fancy cars,
All the good stuff.
all those things we picture ourselves enjoying,
Right.
but might not be the best financial decisions.
Well, you see those toys, they often come with a hefty price tag.
I can imagine.
It's not just the initial purchase price.
Oh no, what else?
It's the ongoing costs, like maintenance, storage, insurance.
And appreciation,
All of that can really add up.
especially if that boat ends up sitting in the marina more than it's out on the water.
Precisely. That's why it's so important to think critically before making those big purchases.
So how do we avoid that trap?
Renting before buying can be a smart strategy.
Well, that's a good idea.
It allows you to experience the enjoyment without the long-term commitment.
And it helps you avoid buyer's remorse.
Exactly.
So it's like a test drive for your finances.
I like that. A test drive.
Okay, so now let's dive into a topic that's often tied to those fancy toys in big houses.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
The allure of luxury.
Ooh, luxury. That's a good one.
We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages
Right.
that equate material possessions with success.
Yeah, it's everywhere you look.
But does spending lavishly on designer brands and extravagant experiences actually lead to wealth?
That's a great question, and one that I think a lot of people struggle with.
It's easy to get caught up in that whole keeping up with the Joneses thing.
It is, and true wealth isn't about that at all.
So what is it about?
It's about having the financial security to live a life you love,
Okay.
to pursue your passions and make choices that align with your values.
So it's about reframing our definition of luxury.
Exactly. Maybe true luxury is about having the freedom to travel when you want,
Or to spend time with loved ones.
or pursue a career you're passionate about.
Without being weighed down by financial stress.
Precisely. It's about shifting your focus from material possessions
To experiences, relationships, personal fulfillment.
I love that.
Me too.
Eep.
Okay, now before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to touch on a wealth destroyer that might surprise some people.
Oh, really? I'm all ears.
Education.
Education. How could that be a wealth destroyer?
Well, we all know that education is important. But can investing in the wrong type of education actually hinder your financial progress?
That's a really interesting point.
Like, not all degrees lead to high-paying jobs.
Yeah.
Or strong financial returns.
It's essential to do your research
right.
and understand the potential return on investment.
Before taking on significant debt.
Exactly. And there's so many options available today.
Yeah, like what kind of options?
You've got traditional four-year degrees, online courses, vocational schools, apprenticeships.
Wow, so many choices.
It's about finding the right fit for you and your unique goals.
Yeah, and making sure that education is truly an investment.
Rather than a financial burden.
That makes a lot of sense, and that's something we'll continue to explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait.
Okay, so we've uncovered some major wealth destroyers hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, some sneaky saboteurs, for sure.
But now I'm wondering, how do we actually fight back against them?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's one thing to identify these pitfalls, but it's another thing entirely to actively avoid them and make choices that really support your long-term financial goals.
Okay, so what are some practical strategies that our listeners can start using today?
Well, one of the most fundamental things is mastering the art of needs versus wants.
Needs versus wants.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds simple enough in theory.
It does.
But in practice...
It can be tricky.
Yeah, especially when we're constantly bombarded with marketing messages.
Oh, absolutely. Those messages are designed to tempt us.
They really are.
So it takes practice.
Okay.
But it's such a powerful skill to develop.
So how do we actually do it?
Well, every time you're about to make a purchase,
okay,
just pause for a moment and ask yourself,
mm-hmm.
do I truly need this?
Right.
Or do I just want it right now in this moment?
It's like training your brain to think differently about spending.
Exactly. Instead of automatically reaching for your wallet, you're taking a moment to consider the long-term implications.
I like it.
And that shift in mindset can really be a game changer.
It breaks you out of those impulsive spending habits.
It does, and it helps you start making decisions that actually align with your goals.
So needs versus wants, that's a powerful tool.
It really is.
What else can we add to our arsenal?
Another crucial strategy is embracing the power of delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. Ooh, that sounds tough.
I know it can seem a little counterintuitive, especially in a world of instant gratification.
Yeah. Buy now, pay later, right?
Exactly. And that mentality can lead to a vicious cycle of debt and financial stress.
Nobody wants that.
So instead of giving in to that urge to splurge, try shifting your focus to the long-term rewards.
So save now, enjoy later.
Precisely, you're choosing to invest in your future self.
Rather than indulging in your present desires.
Exactly. And the benefits go beyond just the financial aspect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, delaying gratification can actually help you develop patience, discipline, and a greater appreciation for the things you work hard for.
I can see that. Okay, so we've got needs versus wants. We've got delayed gratification. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, the next one is all about becoming a savvy evaluator of value.
Evaluating value.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that actually look like in practice?
It means taking a closer look at every purchase you make, big or small.
Yeah.
And asking yourself some key questions.
Like what?
Is this truly worth it?
Okay.
Think about the cost per use, the quality, the longevity, and most importantly, how does this purchase align with your overall goals?
Right, so it's not about being cheap.
No, it's not about that.
It's about getting the most value for your money.
Precisely, and making sure that your spending aligns with your values and your vision for the future.
This reminds me of something we talked about earlier, reframing our definition of luxury.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Like, maybe true luxury isn't about having all the stuff.
Right.
It's about having the freedom to make choices that really matter to you.
Exactly. Experiences, relationships, personal growth, those things often hold far greater value than any material possession.
Okay, so we've covered needs versus wants, delayed gratification, evaluating value. What's the final piece of advice you would give our listeners?
This one is crucial. Build a solid foundation before indulging in those luxuries.
Okay, so it's not about never enjoying the finer things in life.
No, not at all. It's about creating that security first.
It's like building a house. You wouldn't start with the fancy finishes before you had a strong foundation.
Exactly. It's about establishing that framework
Yeah.
that can really support your dreams without putting your future at risk.
Secure your finances first.
Yes. And then enjoy the rewards.
It's responsible and enjoyable.
Exactly. It's all about balance.
Balance, that's the key. I feel like we've really shifted our perspective on wealth during this deep dive.
Yeah, it's not just about budgets and investments.
It's about how our everyday choices really shape our financial future.
It's about those mindful habits.
Exactly. And it's not about deprivation either.
No, not at all.
It's about making choices that align with your values and bring you closer to the life you envision.
It's about intentionality.
Being intentional with your money and making sure it's working for you, not against you.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into wealth destroyers, what's the one key message you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I think it's not about how much money you make,
Okay.
but about how wisely you manage it.
Avoiding those wealth destroyers.
Right. It's not about denying yourself joy or living a life of scarcity.
It's about empowerment.
Yes, empowering yourself to make choices that align with your values and your vision for the future.
Taking control of your finances and shaping your own destiny.
Exactly.
This has been so insightful. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope this episode has equipped you with the knowledge and the motivation to identify and conquer those wealth destroyers in your own lives.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. So start by identifying one wealth destroyer you can tackle this week.
Make a commitment to change.
No matter how small it may seem, every step counts.
Every step towards financial freedom is a step in the right direction.
So what wealth destroyer will you conquer this week?
We'd love to hear about it.
Let's work together to build a brighter financial future, one smart choice at a time.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
See you on our next deep dive.